So in the previous video, we talked about how to find uh, contributors. Again, just to summarize, we want to find people that are contributors, not staff writers. We want to click through to their bios. We want to follow them on social. We want to go to their homepage. We want to check out to see if they freelance, right? We want to record their contact information. I strongly suggest you find at least 20 contributors to build a nice little outreach list because a lot of them are going to say no, okay? So after you've done that, after you've built a nice little list, the next part is beginning that value exchange. How can we actually get them to cover us and to link to where we want? So I have two methods, and I'm going to break this up into two videos. Method one is the safe way. And this is how it goes. So again, we found these people, connect on social first, try and add some value to their lives before pitching them, right? So we want to follow them on social, retweet some of their stuff, help them spread their reach. It adds a ton of value. It's really easy to do. After that, then, after a week or two, you can send them a pitch and asking them if they freelance, right? And you're not buying a post. Again, do not initially contact them asking them to buy a post. It's not going to happen. You want to ask them if they freelance, right? After you do that, pay them to write 2 or 3 articles and get their trust. Let them know that you're a good client, that you mean business, and that you can give them good work, not just some schmuck trying to score some free press, right? So again, it's not that big of a deal. If you're following what I'm telling you anyways, you're going to need content. You might pay a little bit more, but you've got 2 to 3 posts from a Forbes written contributor. You can go submit that anywhere else for a guest post. So you're just killing 2 birds with 1 stone. It's not like you're wasting money here. Get that good content. Honestly, it's good to have another good content writer on board anyways. And just let them know you're a good client and you give them good work and that they can trust you, okay? Then, after you've done that, wait about a month or so, have them write a post and let them know that you have nowhere to publish it. So let's just say, hey, you give them 2 to 3 articles, you told them that they were for ghostwriting for guest posting, get them to write the 4th one and then say, hey, that guest posting opportunity actually fell through. Would you mind submitting it to wherever you write? You can submit it on Forbes if you want. And this can work really well, but you want to make sure that the topic that you give them to write is relevant to what they write about on Forbes. So remember the guy in the previous video who wrote about science and stuff. You wouldn't have him write a guest post about finance and then expect him to publish it on Forbes because he writes about science. So what you would do is you would see what he writes about, you would find a really good topic, and you would give it to him to write. After that, after he's written it, make sure that you have a link in there to wherever you want it to be. And you just say, hey, the opportunity actually fell through. I have nowhere to publish this. If you want, you can just publish it on your own. I'm still going to pay you for it, but feel free to use it to meet your quota, right? So you see how that's adding even more value. So number one, you're paying him for it. Number two, it's an on-topic subject for what he was going to write about anyways. You just paid him to do it. And number three, you're helping him meet his quota for these sites because these sites do make you meet a quota. Trust me, I know. They make you meet a monthly quota for content. So if you're paying him on top of what he's doing for them and you're helping him meet his quota, he's going to say yes, okay? So this adds value to them again because you pay them and you help them meet the quota. I call this the safe way because there's nowhere through here that you're saying, hey, I'll pay you to link to my site or I'll pay you for this. This is just kind of taking the back road in saying, oh yeah, hey, by the way, I've got this content, I can't write it, feel free to use it. However, I'll say this, you do run a pretty high risk of getting your link stripped because you give him back control of the content, right? So you're giving him back the content saying, here, publish it. He then has to, rewrite it himself or a little bit whatever. He might strip that link. So you do run that risk. However, this is the safe and non-spammy way. The other way, I call this the straight up way. So this is method 2. I know I said I was going to do videos, but I'm on a roll right now, so I'm not going to stop. So this is method 2. This is the straight up way. So you use the same method as before. You follow them on social. You hire them as a freelance writer. You get their trust. You get them to write a few posts for you. Then, after you've done that, just be honest with them. And this is what I've done for the girl who writes for me for Huffington Post. I hired her to write 1 article. And I was like, the reason why we do this is we get paid to write posts for clients. I was like, if you're interested, I can just give you a steady stream of work, because she was very happy that I hired her as a freelance writer. She was super excited to get $150 to write a post. So I was just like, I can just continuously pay you 150 bucks for every time you write. All you have to do is link to where I tell you to link to. She was like, okay, like where do I sign? And so she's written, I mean, I paid her like 5 grand over the last 2 months because she's just cranking out HuffPost, Elite Daily, Thought Catalog, really, really big publications, man. And it's so easy too. I mean, it's genuinely the best link building source that I have right now because I just send her an email and say, hey, I need a link here. And she goes ahead, she formulates the content all around it. She handles everything. It's fucking awesome, actually. So, it's just a really good connection to have. However, a lot of these writers and bloggers, they have morals, man. So they might be like, no, I'm not really interested in doing that. And you might burn the relationship. So, it's up to you. I strongly suggest you try both of them. But they work. They work. And, honestly, worst case scenario is if you get one of them to write you a post, Forbes accepts guest posts. Huffington Post accepts guest posts. All you have to do is submit it. So you can just get them to write it and then submit it yourself under your own name. And you've got kind of that fallback method too. So either way, they're gold. And that's kind of that. So those are the two methods that I use. I know this module is kind of unorganized compared to the other ones. But in the last video, I have one more video. I'm going to talk about the pitch to use to break the ice, the exact verbatim pitch. And I'm actually going to show you how I use that to get on Search Engine Journal. Stay tuned, folks.